Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel for a review of Peter Rabbit 2. So a heads up, this review it's necessary for this movie to give a review on two different bases because it's a kid's movie and coming to it as an adult is going to create a very different experience than if you're a kid. So I'm going to look at it from both angles, starting from the kid's point of view. If you are a child and you like CGI movies and you're looking for a good fun time with lots of silly jokes, this movie is a wonderful experience. The jokes are good, even the grown-ups will laugh, and it's got slapstick, it's got silliness, there's a little rabbit who eats way too much candy and all spazzes out. Lots of stuff for the kids to enjoy. And I think as a kid watching it, there is very little for them to complain about. As an adult of a child watching the movie, do you have anything to worry about? No, not really. There's no toilet humor or anything weird like that at all. It's just straight ahead humor. So yeah, okay, so as a review for the little guys, 2 thumbs up, watch it, enjoy it, have a good time. Now, as a grown-up, if you don't know anything about Peter Rabbit or Beatrix Potter, you are in the same boat as the children, and you should enjoy this movie and have a good time. Now let's take a look at the other category of folk. Say you do know who Peter Rabbit is, you do know who Beatrix Potter is, and you're way into all of those things, then you're going to have a lot of trouble with Peter Rabbit 2. And here is the giant flaw in Peter Rabbit 2 for fans, adult fans, of Peter Rabbit. The second movie wants to be biographical in regards to Beatrix Potter, but it's 110 years later, and they're putting it in the world of 110 years later, and they're having her marry a character, and it is just really different than the actual biography. And so it's going to keep ripping you out of the movie if you're coming to the movie from that point of view. So as an example, I watched the first Peter Rabbit, which was way more based on the original story, and had a really great time, and I think that's why that movie got way better reviews than the new one, but that's just a guess. Then I watched, I'm going to take you to, this is becoming a new thing for me of like sharing other people's YouTube channel, and you know what, why not? Let's face it, most of my views come from the Critical Drinker's video that I made on him, so you know, sometimes calling out these other channels is a really good thing. And all those people that say I'm jealous of him, phooey on you. I think he's an awesome dude and does a wonderful job. And I think the same of this YouTube channel as well. And this guy has a lot of cartoons posted, but I was watching this one right here, The Tale of Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny. And this is from the British TV show that did several cartoons. This is 25 minutes, so it's a lot of stories. So, you know, it doesn't feel like half an hour. It feels longer, but not in a boring way. Kind of like Dumbo. If you've ever watched Dumbo, you're like, wow, that is a lot of story pushed into one thing, and you can look at the running time, like, whoa, that was only 1 hour and 6 minutes? Holy mackerels, did they put in a lot of story. And they do in this as well. So I was watching this, and in the comment section in the cartoon for this, somebody mentioned, because I had brought up this movie that came out last Christmas in England, the Sky original, Roald and Beatrix, as in Roald Dahl, the guy who grew up to not only write Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach, but oh my gosh, 40 years after he died, they released the records, and it turns out he was a spy for the British Empire, and he was not only a spy, he was a field spy, and he spied on Germany and America, and because he had the upper class accent, darling, he spied on America. So this is him when he was a kid in a story, a tale, we don't know if it's true, of him going to meet his favorite author as a child, because that's supposed to be a boy. Well, I guess it is a boy, but whatever. Did you guess his pronouns? And this is Dawn French playing the mean and cranky Beatrix Potter, who's not that fond of kids in the movies. So anyways, that's what was happening, is in the review of this channel, I mentioned this movie, and he's like, he hated this movie because he didn't like Beatrix being so cranky. And he recommended this movie, the Miss Potter movie with Renee Zellweger, post-facial surgery, so she's barely recognizable, and that too in itself is distracting. And it has Obi-Wan Kenobi from when he was young, playing her fiance in the movie. And so I told him I'll watch this because he recommended this movie. And the thing of it is, this movie takes place in Beatrix's younger years, and this movie takes place in her older years, so I couldn't find them incongruent because they're two totally different time periods in her life. Now, which one's actually true? Who knows, because everything is based on a true story, and how much of that is true, I don't know. But that takes us back to The Tale of Peter Rabbit. So with The Tale of Peter Rabbit 2, the problem that you're going to face is it's completely filled with total bunk in regard to her biography. So why they chose to do it in a semi-biographical manner, I don't know, because it really just screws it all up. So if you're a kid or you're an adult that doesn't know anything about Beatrix Potter, you should have a very good time enjoying this movie. If you know anything about Beatrix Potter, good luck, hold on, and grit your teeth as you keep getting ripped out of the movie. And that's not even close to how that's supposed to be and how that's supposed to work. So what are you going to do? So that's my review. I'm not going to put a ranking on that. You make up your own mind. But that is the experience with Peter Rabbit 2, and I will reiterate one more time. I think that's why the ratings are so poor for Peter Rabbit 2, because like Winnie the Pooh, which they do give a nod to in this movie, the Brits are really, really protective of Beatrix Potter and her story. Partly because she bought so much freaking land and gave it over to the people, and it turned into a park. In America, we'd call it a national park. I don't know what they call it in Britain. But so they have very, very fond memories of her. It turns out when you give people free stuff, they like that. Go figure. But anyways, that's my review of Peter Rabbit 2. And so go into it blindly and have a great time. Go into it with lots of experience and enjoy it, but be prepared to be distracted a lot from it doesn't line up. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the future.